It is going to be the most beneficial thing you've probably ever done to help you either get a foot in the door in your career or just expose yourself to new ideas, new concepts. My name is Nigel Rayford. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, born and raised. I went to school at the University of Oklahoma, majoring in economics with a minor in Chinese. I've been in financial services for about 5 years, and I'm currently living in Dallas, working at Texas Capital as a business strategy associate. I've always liked numbers. If I could tell the story, I was a little kid and I always wanted to place a bet like Dallas would be the financial capital of the South. And now it has been. All of your major banks live in Dallas. They have a major operations in Dallas. And what led me to finance was that numbers tell a story. How you can create a solution to any problem and just be the narrator to solve a merger question, an acquisition question, a revenue question. I like telling stories and I like using numbers to do that. The major challenges were getting the right opportunity to do the work in my passion of strategy and finance. So before I was more of an operations back office role that sometimes companies want to silo you to because that's what they think you can do. But I just kept believing in myself and knowing that I am good with numbers. I've always been that kid in first grade that would win the multiplication around the world contest and things like that. And so that was my passion. I wanted to be more in a front office role. I really wanted to use my CFI certification to navigate myself and to get into a strategic role. That's been my passion. I wanted to do consulting for a little bit immediate out of school. So the certification really allowed me to now be in a strategy role, and it's the best role I've ever had. So I got the Financial Modeling Valuation Analyst certificate, and the decision behind that was I really wanted to have a deeper root in finance. So because I received my economics degree within the liberal arts school, I didn't have all of those necessary finance classes that you take in a business school. So didn't really have an intermediate or theory of finance, didn't take too many classes of business management, but I knew I always wanted to be in business. So that was the perfect class for me and certificate, just because it would provide me all of those tools of accounting, forecasting, budgeting, all of the necessary skills and classes I feel like you need to have in your toolkit in order to be successful in finance. I found the budgeting and forecasting kind of vertical out of the course very impactful for me, just because it allowed me to think of how historical numbers will affect your projections of your future needs. So especially in a P&L statement for whatever company or project you're working on, you need to be able to forecast for the future of how businesses will do in different scenarios. Like, what's your base case? What is your outperforming case? So I think that was a pivotal one class, but also the strategy and presentation course really stuck home with me. I was involved in PowerPoint contest presentations as a little kid, and so knowing your audience, how to capture them, that course was amazing because it literally reinforced those lessons I learned as a little kid, that you want to make sure you're concise, you get to the point, but you also tell the story that your audience or your stakeholders want to hear. So the practical exercises, for me, I'm a hands-on learner. So to be able to have a program, not you also follow the instructor, but then to have your own Excel or your own real applications, I think that's how you really believe and understand what the goal is or what the instructor is trying to teach. Just because sometimes in school, when you just give someone a worksheet, how does that matter? Like, why do I really want to understand and learn it? But when you have scenarios, business cases, and using that Excel skill in class with the instructor and kind of following through from beginning to end, it not only makes you feel relief, but makes you feel like you understand, like you have the confidence to go out there to your day-to-day job and really make a change and complete, awesome work. So since completing my certification, I want to say my budgeting and forecasting are probably the most beneficial to me in my current role. We're going through our annual planning for 2025 currently right now. So being able to understand only 5 months in the job, these forecasting concepts that I would not have knew or understand about if I didn't take the course. So the course extremely prepared me for my current role. I use almost every part of the course, and if it's not every day, every week. My confidence from the course has been extremely helpful. So for example, when I just started my current role, one of my bosses had to take leave for a little bit, and this is my first internal finance role. And to understand these concepts, I really had to look up my certification, some of those classes, and kind of reevaluate, that learning, that experiences, because that really was my only and core foundation for an internal finance role. So someone who may be on the fence to take the CFI certification, I would say just do it. It is going to be the most beneficial thing you've probably ever done to help you either get a foot in the door in your career or just expose yourself to new ideas, new concepts. It's probably more important than any class you've taken in college or high school that you can actually apply to your day-to-day job. So for future challenges, I believe CFI has equipped me to ask questions and really be uncomfortable, learn new topics. So like in the program, discounted cash flows and three-statement models, there were some of new topics for me that at first I was a little uncomfortable, didn't really understand, but just taking one class at a time, being able to go on my own pace, it really gave me the confidence to know if new challenges come, if new financial situations, meet me at my door, that I can handle it. I just have to be able to understand the root problem or cause and just use the financial numbers to make a decision. What I enjoy most about finance is being able to collaborate with different parts of the bank. So I'm currently at a bank, and knowing how each organization or each division flows into one another to produce the best solution and product for our clients. And so being in finance for 5 years, I've been able to have back office experience, middle office experience, some advisory consulting experience, and now internal finance experience. So I really understand how important it is that every arm of the bank or company can actually come together. So my CFI certification has really given me the confidence of being in certain working groups or roles of different topics within finance that I haven't had exposure to, that I've been able to leverage to come up with the best solution. In finance, it's important to not fall behind the curve. There may be new regulations, new SEC changes that may affect my day-to-day work. So what I take on for myself is I read a lot of articles, I read a lot of newspapers that keep me updated of what's going on in the world, but then also I lean on my colleagues that have been in the industry for multiple years that know different processes and different changes that I may need to be aware of. And then it's important that I also task myself, maybe I do need to go back and take another CFI certification. Just continuing to learn, I think, is the most important thing. And the fact that CFI lets you to learn new skills and new opportunities at your own pace, I don't think there's anything better.